Okay, gentlemen, good job. For, I think 90% of you have never done anything like this before. Not a bad job for first time out. Hey, for R&R, not bad communication. We need to work on communication a little more, but it wasn't bad moving through there. A couple of times the flanker teams I thought moved a little too far ahead, you know, that they were kind of out of rear in the limit of support or not. They'd gotten in the fight.
I had a hard time keeping him next to me.
Yeah, I
want to get in front of him.
Yeah, a couple of times.
I'm thinking we're kicking around.
Yeah, a couple of times. Yeah, I thought you guys were a little too far apart.
Yeah.
Now, that's why we do this. You know what I mean? Bill, when you saw Chancey, you should have yelled the 3 Ds.
This is direction, description.
Yep. Then we hit the wall there for a second. No one needed to know what to do, but then everybody started going good. You kept the right side secure, you kept the rear secure, so that's good. And then you moved everybody up to support. So all in all, it wasn't terribly bad. Quietness, we need to work on moving and quiet, but we will have a lesson plan here coming up of Porsche movement and how to move, like Chuck was talking about. We're going to go over how do you move, walk, crawl, all that kind of stuff.
I asked him, he said, they asked Chancey, what did you say, about 20 yards? You heard the first crack?
Yeah, it was.
Not talking voices, because there was a lot of.
Did you see him before he seen you?
No, I was sitting there motionless, hoping. Wasn't looking at you. I was looking straight ahead.
I swear you looked right at me.
No, I was looking straight up at the trail. I was hoping that you wouldn't come that far down off the trail.
So we did get the element of surprise.
Yeah, because you realized the danger there, you pushed your flankers out to help control the area.
Far enough.
And he was if real life, you've been in a bad spot because there was all kind of guns facing. But you know, that's why we do this. And he even put a blind in front of you. He put a little blind for it makes it harder to see with some
When he
cover.
stood up, he couldn't see. He's like,
The one we got, I never thought you guys lost control of your team. I mean, that's good because we've seen that a lot with new guys where the team just scattered and there was no communication and everybody's doing what they done. You got to send guys go find Bill because no one knows where Bill's at. And,
I got a couple things. The first thing is when you're bumping up on track, I'm just trying to tell you so you know, you got to make sure you tell the controller which way you see that track going, and that'll help him send the flankers if they got to go right or left. Another thing, when we started out, I really didn't like it too much. These flankers are always in front of you. You got a good distance, but when you come up, you don't exceed this line. You stay here. These guys have to protect this guy. You have to protect him.
use him for their job.
And then you bump up another. Say he's going this way, you know, he'll basically just go here, and then you know he'll come here, and then you work up just behind him, just that little bit of a back set. Because you get ahead of this guy, and you got it, and you're being tracked. And the guy you're tracking knows you're tracking him. That's the first guy I'm shooting. Is the first guy in there in the middle.
Your tracker.
Yep.
Now you can't.
Now you're in trouble. This is a security guy.
Josh.
Yeah, he's good. He was right. With
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and you got another thing. I know it's hard to do sometimes because you're always, you know, you're looking, but when you're out there fighting in opposition, this guy's got to do this 180. Check in front of you and check back to that controller all the time. Even, you know, just all the way back. Just take a little peek. And a rule of thumb, when you're moving, you shouldn't move more than 15 meters.
Yeah.
You shouldn't move more than 15 meters anyway. So, I mean, if this guy's bumping out, he ain't going to bump out over here 25 meters away, and then, you know, you're totally out of the game. When Merrick went up over the hill to clear that, he was at the
max
as far as getting off of the team.
I could barely
Don't go that far off the team.
I could see you, but barely.
And the terrain will dictate. Like we got on that plateau, you know, that's you know right away, unless the guy's laying prone and laying it right at you, he's on it. If he's there, he's going to be on that ridge. So I mean, you did right. I mean, you pumped out a little bit more this way. Take your time. It ain't a freaking race.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go instead of going 15, go 10. Let him come up. You know, let him control. Hey, listen, he's still going straight. You know, just because he come up, the tracker comes up on sign, and he sees one out there, don't go all the way to it. Just get up halfway to it, and, you know, 'cause right there, maybe he made a right, maybe he made a left, but you always keep that, I always call it, keeping one in the bank. You can see that sign out there, so you know it's there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when you're coming up and you're saying, okay, it's this way, you're still bringing them guys, and then you got a little bit of time to study. Oh, there's a broken branch. Okay. So then when you get up to it, then you know what I mean. You give yourself some time to see which way everything's going.
I hope you see what we're talking about as far as the importance of the control of the team leader. Everybody pivots off of that. You're working as a team. Even the security guys, your security, your safety pivots off of the rear security guy. Your left security is essential by the left security guy. And his position being controlled by the team leader, if he gets too far off, your safety is in jeopardy because he's too far out from where he's supposed to be. So the team leader controlling the left security is a factor in your safety.
That's where comms come in handy.
Yep.
Hey, I can't see you, you can't see me. Stop moving.
Eye contact. While you're scanning your zone, look back at the control leader, the team leader, to make sure that you're not getting too far away.
That's a
Make
good
an
tool.
eye contact. And right security, left security, make eye contact. Right security, rear security, make eye contact with everybody.
I think it was you that could see me, and he was behind you from the angle we were at. I think you could see me giving a thumbs up, but I don't think he could. So yeah, relay your messages that you get from either the rear or the front, so that anybody doesn't see it like they said okay or they said stop, and he doesn't know. You know, he knew that I was stopped, but he didn't.
You know, basically classroom in the woods, so I'm not worried about the voices out there. The sticks, the walking noises wasn't bad considering as dry as it was and as many people was walking through the woods. 25, 30 yards away before I really started hearing you.
And we'll get better at that. And then we got plans to go over here in the classroom about individual movement here. We'll have a lesson plan for that. You guys haven't been taught. You know, we got to take steps.
You're going to shock yourself because, I mean, we've come up on people from meetings.
Yeah. And they're like, whoa.
I mean, they don't even know you're there. It's
It is
crazy,
possible.
dude. It works. And if you break that twig, I myself broke one up right there.
Stop for at least a minute.
Yeah.
At least a minute.
Everybody.
We're moving way too fast.
Yes.
We've got.
It took us an hour with 4 guys bumping from where we went in, that road that went in, that big mud hole.
Yeah, I
That's where
remember
we
that.
started, and we went towards the trailers where we were training earlier today. It took us an hour to go that far. It was actually a little over. It was like an hour and 20 minutes, something like
It was
that.
that Fernando was like, where are you guys?
It's like we're moving slow.
Dude, we don't know who's out here.
You
We
know,
don't want to get shot.
we come to a valley, we send one guy up and over while the other 4 had overwatch until he found a spot and then covered for us, and we'd send another, and he'd set. So it took an hour and 20 minutes just to move the length of that parking lot.
100 yards.
100 yards, an hour and a half. At least, I think it was like an hour and a half, like an hour.
Calm. It's just calm.
Well, no noise. I mean, you didn't hear nothing. You know, it was all hand signals and all danger areas were cleared. Every precaution was taken. I mean, it was slow and methodical, but it was good.
Okay. Anybody else?
I would like to hear first impressions from the new guy.
It's been good work. You guys are actually organized and everything compared to other ones I went to. Seems like we're good stuff. Learned a lot today.
Good. That's why we do this.
Practice, that's all.
You're new. What
Little
is?
stuff, the little stuff, practice at home.
How much I don't know. How much I need to learn.
I do a little bit of everything.
Next month, the overnight is great time.
Tactical shooting, everything.
Yeah. Next month we're gonna do a lot of these scenarios, fast, quick scenarios, force on force with airsoft.
Reaction.
And then at nighttime we'll probably do a land nav. We'll probably go to the cave. You know, we haven't been in the cave for a while, so we're gonna try to take a team out. We're gonna go to the cave, recon the cave, and come back to that point at nighttime.
Yeah, for real, lost kids.
Oh yeah, Swank down there, that guy from the state
Yeah,
police.
Bob.
Yeah, boss fight.
Yeah, I remember that. I learned a lot there. That was a good time. Only thing I didn't like is you had 10 million ticks. Like I said, like when you're in an FTX and somebody has a hilltop over here, another one here, and then you send us a patrol out, and you see a squad. I mentioned it earlier. That's how we used to find. That's how we used to win all.
Yeah, yeah.
You'd see a patrol, and then you'd let them go, and then you would backtrack. You'd track them right to their freaking base, and then you'd set up an attack. You'd bring in a.
And the other thing is, after
Yeah, you were with us.
without another thing we found is, especially with the third and the fifth wasn't bad. The third was real bad. No offense or nothing. They tend to get tired, and after a couple of hours, they got pretty complacent. So we would just kind of let them get bored wandering around the woods, and then they would just drop everything, and then be like bang bang, like oh, and you see the deer in the headlight look, and they're like, whoa.
Well, that's what I was going to kind of get into.
Yeah.
Not so much that we went that far to get bored, because it was such a short course that we went into, and that's happened to me. I've gotten bored, and that's when shit pops off. How many of you got tired?
Complacent.
You got
Complacent.
complacent.
Got pretty heavy after a while.
Rifle got pretty heavy. Well, none of us wore any plate carriers or anything out.
That's another thing to try.
Putting on an extra 35 pounds and carrying a rifle and doing all that stuff makes a big difference. Put your pack on and do squats. And then when you can't do squats here no more, start doing your calves. And when you can't do your calves no more, go back to squats. Because we have a lot of hills down here.
Yeah, we walk a couple miles.
And they will test you. You will go home very tired.
Getting bored. That's
Complacent.
Yeah.
Complacent is
You
better.
guys ain't attacking. Well, no. The last,
I work out in the heat every day.
probably the last FTX I was in. With Stevens and all
yeah.
them, they had a flag over here, and they sat on that flag. And man, you guys know Logan or Lucas?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, skinny one.
Louder. Lucas Louder.
It was Logan.
Him and I went through enemy lines over here, right through the middle of them. And it took us forever. I mean, we belly crawled across the hill, we crossed the road, we went up there, there's people walking all around us. We seen the flag, we waited, and they got bored.
Yes.
And they got up
I
and
remember
walked
that.
away, and I belly crawled up, I grabbed the flag, I come down, and Lucas was covering me, come back, we went up, and Steven started bitching. It was like 10
Yeah, I
minutes
remember
before.
that.
He's like, you guys don't want to attack us now. I says, well, did you get our flag? He's like, why didn't you guys want to attack us? We got your flag, it's over.
Yeah, we won. We got in, we got your shit.
What do you mean
without
you got our
shot
flag? And they went running back, they're like, how the hell? I mean, people walking, but we just didn't engage.
Yeah. And
what I mean?
you well camouflaged up, like you said, we pushed a lot of camp. Today we didn't push much because it's a beginner class. But
Camo.
camo's key, man. You got to camouflage up because, man, just how many times the guys walk by us? I mean, literally right by us. At one time, Stevens and the guys. No, that was us. You, me, and Ben.
The kid that said he
Yeah, and we were down there. They remember they walked right by us.
His foot was like, shh. I'm like, Jesus.
Almost stepped on
He
you.
almost
Yeah.
stepped on me. That was a long time.
But that just shows you how people don't pay attention.
Yeah.
Like he's laying right there, and the
Yeah.
guy's all up like this. Walked right past him. If he
Yeah.
wanted to kill him, he could have done it.
Now again, if he's walking looking for tracks, like, man, there's fresh tracks here. Maybe there's somebody around here. I mean,
Follow it right to his feet, like, hey, get up.
I almost got pissed on him. We were
yeah, I remember that.
I was up on the hill and it got
Wolfgang? Was that Wolfgang? Yeah.
And I didn't know we were supposed to kill him.
Right, neither did I. I killed the other guy.
And he come over, I'm like, geez, oh man, I was gonna say, hey man, I'm sorry you were cheated, but I didn't do it. He was standing there pissing, he just missed me, you know? And it was funny.
With us, we went in there, we raided their campsite and took
Yeah,
everything.
we
They left nobody. Like, what the hell are you guys doing? We took everything, all the gear and everything.
A lot of fun. Major is a high value target one time. They was escorting him around in the truck and they took him up on top of the hill and we dropped a tree down on the road and blocked our, you was driving him around, blocked the road on the way back down. And his are already into the curve and it was like, oh shit.
Yeah, they didn't send no security. They should have sent security ahead of the high-value target to make sure everything was clear before they bung them down. And they did it. They came around. There was like the deer in the headlight.
As soon as that
And then we opened up.
boom!
We opened up, and there was so many. I don't know, 2 or 3 of them got shot.
Somebody was in a vehicle ahead of me. And then somebody was behind me. So I'm trying to back up and they're not getting out of my way. I can't egress
Yep.
the danger
If you
zone.
wouldn't have had such a nice truck, we'd have let you up.
And then we blew him up in the head. Because no one checked the head. We put a bomb in there. He went in the head and blew him up. No one part of strength to the head.
And looked at it, but didn't go inside and check it.
Yeah.